It was supposed to be a crowning achievement for the Duchess of Sussex, an opportunity to re-establish herself at the forefront of Silicon Valley's burgeoning tech and venture capital scene. But Meghan Markle's highly anticipated appearance at last weekend's exclusive G9 Ventures Summit in San Francisco has become a PR nightmare virtually overnight. Footage of her rambling, jargon-laden keynote address spectacularly derailing after celebrated entrepreneur Reese Witherspoon abruptly stood up and walked out midway through has rapidly gone viral across the internet. Within hours of the Hollywood superstar's storming exit, the hashtag #MegSPEFail began trending globally as millions piled on to mock the cringeworthy debacle. The address kicked off the inaugural launch festivities for Aro, Markle's new tech startup purportedly focused on leveraging AI, cryptocurrency, and blockchain technologies to create increasing connectivity through compassionate community platforms. Long rumored to be a pet project of the Duchess, the lavish coming-out party for Aro was booked at San Francisco's elite Fairmont Hotel, with anticipated speakers and attendees reading like a who's who list of the tech/entertainment elite. In addition to Witherspoon and other major celebrity entrepreneurs and influencers, the weekend's summit hosted a number of prominent Silicon Valley CEOs, investment venture funds, and futurist thought leaders slated for panel events and networking opportunities. As the afternoon's keynote speaker, Markle appeared poised to leverage extensive media coverage spotlighting Aro's official public launch as a major milestone in her rehabilitation efforts following years of PR crises and self-inflicted scandals. But according to numerous attendees and staffers backstage, the disastrous chain reaction began almost immediately after she took the podium, derailing the elaborate rebranding campaign before it could ever get off the ground. Usually these upscale tech things start with a pretty slick marketing video overview before the main speaker takes the stage, sort of setting the vibe and energy level, said Casper Ingram, a creative brand strategist who attended the summit's opening day programming. But not even 60 seconds into this one, it felt like we were trapped in the opposite realm of a Terrence Malick film gone wrong. While Ingram and multiple other sources have cryptically described the disastrous video footage as a swirling, nauseating clash of bad CGI, stock footage loops, and disembodied whispers screeching over dramatic meaninglessness, most seem to indicate it set an overwhelmingly confusing and ominous tone even before Markle appeared. When she finally did take the stage, many observers have claimed she appeared uncharacteristically flustered and disoriented. Right off the bat she seemed distracted, or dare I say self-conscious, in a way you rarely see from a veteran public speaker like her, noted Rachel Loades, an art director who attended on behalf of her creative agency. Her hands were visibly shaking so much she could barely operate the clicker for her PowerPoint presentation, which featured this mystifying backdrop of Egyptian hieroglyphs phasing in and out to even more dramatic whispers and groans. Within 2 minutes of her first stumbling words to the packed ballroom, the Duchess of Sussex seemed to regress into a bizarre stream of consciousness full of obfuscating tech jargon, new age platitudes, and bizarrely hyperspecific personal anecdotes about her royal family and divorce from former husband Prince Harry. Despite appearing to struggle with the precise pronunciation of Aro/Archihub's name and foundational technologies, she also continuously returned to thinly veiled rebukes toward the British monarchy and royal establishment. I distinctly remember her claiming Aro represented a kind of emancipation grid designed to facilitate networked communion exchanges of empathy spheres organizing around decentralized intersectionality nodes, said N.I. Borisov, a prominent VC fund manager for one of the summit's presenting organizations. Even by our industry's standards of opportunistic woo-woo babble, that was bewildering enough. But she then sarcastically remarked that those poor handicapped violators couldn't even begin comprehending these things until undergoing deep ancestral repair work for still suppressing indigenous truthers about moon energies or something. That's when we started asking ourselves, what in God's name is going on? The further Meghan descended into her self-described journey of crossing the galactic omnibridge to Anchorage through channeling the many-angled ones beckoning across the interwoven lyrosphere, the more uneasy and bewildered murmurs began spreading throughout the VIP crowd. However, even as concerns mounted from those present that her speech might be devolving into a full mental break, it was Oscar-winning actress Reese Witherspoon who displayed the first public breaking point, shocking onlookers when she suddenly stood up and directly walked out approximately 15 minutes into Markle's oration. She literally just stood up stone-faced in the middle of Meghan comparing our civilizational honoring of ancient wisdom elders to Mbuta tribespeople reopening celestial hyperstargates through ayahuasca chrism consumption, exclaimed Vlada Bergstein, a tech CEO who was invited to participate in a panel discussion later that weekend. Most of us were floored when this visibly disgusted Witherspoon tugged at her assistant's arm, fired off one last look of pure disdain at the stage, then imperiously high-stepped out into the lobby without uttering a word. Though Markle did not initially acknowledge her co-speaker's abrupt exit from the hotel ballroom, nearly all accounts confirm her speech only became more erratic and freewheeling after the events went viral on social media. Video clips of the Duchess invoking primal scream therapy ice-breaking exercises ranging from great ape gesticulating to what many interpreted as summoning chants of otherworldly beings flooded Twitter and TikTok by the end of the day. She kept gesturing up towards the ceiling lights while urging everyone to activate our Gaiaic galactic regressors for resonicating revered exasal imprints, then launched into at least 5 consecutive minutes of these almost animalistic grunts and spirals, recounted Yolia Endris, a web developer in attendance. That's the point where she literally dropped to all fours on stage, wrapping her arms behind her back while Tuvan throat chanting something that felt torn from the mythos of an undiscovered reindeer-based Relagon. Meanwhile, this disconcerting rumble, like kids gargling marbles out of resonant frequencies, had us all clutching our chairs. Once ushered backstage by an increasingly frantic events team concerned about maintaining the weekend's summit schedule and venues, many have questioned whether the hapless Duchess was subjected to appropriate medical evaluation. Lost within the endless deluge of trending memes and commentary further skewering her humiliation, the issue was further clouded by Markle's associates characterizing her speech as a provocative multimedia performance piece designed to subversively challenge limiting paradigms of conscious expansion.